In these problems, we're solving some inequalities. And this is a lot like solving equations. There are just a few little tricks you need to know. But let's just start working on these. The first one says solve 2x plus 4 is greater than negative 2. And really, if you think of this greater than sign as an equal sign, you can just approach this problem the same way you would approach solving an equation. What you want to do is get the variable alone. So the first thing I'd do is get rid of this positive 4 by doing the opposite of a positive 4. I'd subtract 4 from both sides. Now these would cancel out, and I would get 2x is greater than negative 6 over here, because negative 2 plus negative 4 is negative 6. And last, I would divide both sides by 2, and I would end up with x is greater than negative 3. So that's how to solve that relatively simple inequality. There are a few little tricks for some other situations, and we'll look at a couple of those here below. Let's look at the next one. It says if the replacement set is the set of integers, and that's some fancy language that says, well, we don't want this statement right here. We want a set, and we're using only integers as our answer. So if you think about it, x is greater than negative 3. Well, negative 2.9975 could be an answer for that one. It wouldn't be for this one because they want only integers. Well, let's try this one, and I'll show you how the answer looks. It says find the solution set for the inequality x plus 3 is greater than 4. This one's pretty easy to solve. You want to get the x alone, so all you have to do is subtract 3 from both sides, and you get x is greater than 1. But the solution set is just integers, so what numbers are going to fit in there? Well, not 1, because we want x to be greater than 1. So let me draw my little set brackets here. I would have a 2, a 3, a 4, and so on. And that's how you would write that. Those are the integers greater than 1. All right, let's look at another one. This one says negative 5x is less than or equal to 40. And here's where we run into one of these special tricky rules that apply to inequalities. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you must flip the sign. So let's see how that works. To solve for x here, it's probably pretty obvious to you already. You're going to divide by a negative 5. And that's fine. You can do that. These negative 5s cancel. You just get x alone, which is wonderful. 40 divided by negative 5 is going to be negative 8. And we have x on this side. But because you divided by a negative, you have to flip this inequality sign. So instead of a less than or equal to, it becomes a greater than or equal to. You always keep the equal to if it's there, but you just flip the direction of the sign. So that is the correct answer for that one. All right, let's take a look at this complicated looking one down here. We have a negative 3, and then multiplied by x plus 2 is greater than 2 minus 3x. Well, the first thing you want to do, you've got parentheses here, you need to distribute that negative 3. So that would be negative 3x, negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6, is greater than 2 minus 3x. Now there's something funny about this inequality already, but if we were just going to approach this and try to solve for x, we'd want to get rid of the x on one side or the other. So you might say, let's add 3x to this side, and then I'd have to do the same thing over here. And what happens is that over here and over here, the x's just disappear. And what you are left with is this negative 6 is greater than 2. So what's going on there? That seems very strange. If this happens to you, you have to determine whether this inequality that you're left with is true or false. If it's true, then any real number will work as a solution. So it wouldn't matter what you put in for x, it would always come out true. If it's false, there is no solution, and one of these two things will be your answer. So in this case, is negative 6 greater than 2? Well, no, it's not, so no solution is our answer. So that's a little bit of work with solving inequalities.